Why, hello there, soulmates. It's good to be back with you, and I hope that you're doing well today, guys. My name is Soulkeeper. Today we're talking about bringing back the Marvel Universe line of action figures, pleading with Hasbro to bring back this classic line of action figures. I made a video about this the other day, but I figured I'd come on and see if people want to talk about it, because, hey, been a lot of comments on that video. Obviously people have some thoughts. Some people don't like it at all. Hey, Potty's Projects, let's get it. This would be amazing. I hope they do it. I keep hearing people trying to like excuse it away by saying, oh, it just wouldn't be financially feasible and stuff like that, and meanwhile I'm just over here kind of looking around going, come on, man, we've got X number of 3 3/4 inch waves. Like it's they bring it back, it's gonna cost as much as Marvel Legends. Is it though? I don't know if I believe any of the things that they're saying. I hope everyone's doing well too, Patty. Like, line's maybe 2/3 the scale of a Marvel Legend. I'm not sure I can buy that it's gonna cost exactly the same. Like, they're gonna what? Bring back a 3 3/4 inch action figure and it's gonna cost $25? Come on, it's gonna it'd probably be like a $15 action figure. And honestly, at that point, at this point, $15 for an action figure doesn't sound really bad. $15 for an action figure is sounding pretty cushy over here. That's the kind of day and age we're living in, guys. But hey, we'll take the wins where we can get them. They would make bank, especially if it prices it proper. Well, I guess let's start right there. What do you think would be a proper price for the Marvel Universe line? Use this scale for your car mascots. See, there's all kinds of good uses for a line this size. I mean, I see 6-inch collectors poo-pooing stuff like this all the time, and God, I get so frustrated with 6-inch OLED collectors all the time, because I mean, anything that breaks out of the 6-inch paradigm, it's like they don't even like toys. It's like if it doesn't have anything to do with 6 inches, they just hate it. Why are they even interested in toys at all if all they want is 6 inches all the time? That's my rant. I'm sure people will love that after the fact, but hey, that's my thoughts. Take it for what it's worth. So I pulled up a couple of images of the Marvel Universe line before I came on here, guys, and just to give people a good frame of reference, this is what Marvel Universe Series 1 had. This is the Iron Man they had. A lot of these action figures, of course, they came with the hero, and they also came with a really cool special effect, like a repulsor blast for Iron Man. And then, like, this really sweet-looking clip-on web for Spider-Man. Like, that's a really neat-looking molded piece that's all tangled around and stuff. Alright, Patty says that I had a green goblin and a green truck tucked in the corner. It was the truck's nickname. This sounds like a monster truck racer. You say $13.99 to $15 is good. Wouldn't complain. See, that's about where I'm at too. $13.99 to $15. I think that'd be a pretty reasonable price for getting one of these. And I don't see how they couldn't make it happen at that price point for a figure that's downscaled as much as it is. I've collected a handful of 3 3/4 inch stuff from like Hasbro and well, other sort of brands that I can't think of any off the top of my head. The biggest ones that I can think of are Star Wars vintage and like G.I. Joe retro style. Those are like some of the key 3 3/4 inch action figures that have come out. And admittedly, I do like that retro style, but like I think that Marvel Universe is in a similar category to those action figures. 15 plus our Ontario 13% would make it $16.95. Alright, so, considering how bad Canada gets it most of the time, that's not too bad. Canada usually really gets the short end of the stick on action figures. Some things are outrageously priced over there. God, Canada? I've heard people talk about like a basic Marvel Legends action figure costing $35 or something. What's the most expensive Marvel Legends action figure you've ever come across, Patty? What have they bamboozled you with over there? Because I'm sure you've got stories. Everybody from Canada got stories about the prices on things of Marvel Legends and stuff. Or prices of action figures in general. Of course, I can't imagine with the tariff war we have going on right now that things are going to be all that wonderful. Oh man. The prices of everything are just going to... They're going to skyrocket. Oh boy, our collective economies are going to be in shambles. At the door, under $17. See, that's the kind of place we're in, guys. Out the door, under $17. That is a positive. We'll take that W. Oh my God. We're about to settle for under $17, baby. All right, Patty's Project says, I think the Hulk and Classic Wolverine 2-pack was like $80 or more after tax. You know, that was probably expensive a little while ago. Of course, now I look at that and say, that sounds like the kind of price Hasbro would charge here in America for Hulk and Wolverine if they released the 80th anniversary pack these days. Although if they did release it, it would probably cost somewhere in the ballpark. Let's see, Hulk would probably be like 45, maybe 40. Yeah, we'll say Hulk was around $40. And Wolverine's another 25, so it'd probably be like a $65 package. Wow, God. Oh my. God, things have really gotten out of hand with these Marvel Legends, man. Guys, maybe we do need to downscale. Maybe we need Marvel Legends 3.75 just to make collecting feasible again. Just to save space for one, but also just to bring the prices down of stuff, because the prices are getting out of hand. Like we're at $25 for a Marvel Legend. And it probably won't be long until they jack it up to like $30. Do we really want to be paying $30 for Marvel Legends? Maybe it's time to just pull the plug. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud, but it doesn't seem... I don't know. It don't seem great when we're paying that much money for just these basic action figures. Not to mention, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about everything being locked in at 6 inches. Like, not everything is, but there's a lot that's locked in at 6 inches, and it feels like it's not good for toys if everything is locked in at 6 inches, because it robs the manufacturers of any imagination or creativity they might have and pass on to the project and the people who buy them, or the people who collect them, or just the children who play with them. Last time you kind of looked at prices, you bought a Lizard on Retro Card for $44. God, that's what they sold for in Canada, huh? I think the Lizard cost like $30 or something when I bought them. I wanna say. I can't remember if I'm right about that because it's been so long, but I remember the Lizard costing a bit of money. And I remember being all grumbly about buying the Lizard at the time because like I was paying that harumph Spider-Man tax. And well, if you pay an extra bit of money on something that shouldn't cost an extra bit of money, well, that does make you feel a little bit grumpy, doesn't it? Yes, it does. All right, the last time you haven't opened Lizard. You haven't opened Lizard. Well, he's a pretty good action figure if you ever work up the nerve to open him. Of course, now I imagine that he's cost. God, how much is the Lizard worth now? He must cost a small fortune. Like, the only place you could get him here in America back when he came out was Walmart. I'm curious now. Let's have a good look at what the Lizard costs, guys. Okay. Ooh, he's an easy, like, anywhere from $60 to $100. Yeah, ballpark $60 to $100 here. Whoo, boy. Yeah. All right. Well, it's not as high as I thought it would be, but you know, it's still jumping up there. Yeah, that's how much he's worth. That's in American dollars. I mean, you could probably figure that anyway, Patty's Projects, but yeah, $60 to $100 American ballpark. Never found a Spider-Man to match. You know, I remember I remember I was trying to collect the Walmart exclusive Spider-Man. If you don't remember that Spider-Man, that was like this Spider-Man that was cobbled together from Amazing Fantasy and Renew Your Vows, and it was kind of an oddball action figure at the time because it was all disproportionate. It had weird cell shading and stuff. This everyone was going crazy for this action figure here. Let me pull it up real quick. Wait, what the hell? Dude, they have this thing. Huh. Alright. I was just looking at something real quick and found something very interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, this thing was like almost $30 when it came out. This cel-shaded Spider-Man. This is the one, guys. Notice how he's got the Amazing Fantasy legs and it's all weird looking, but then he's got these arms. Well, he's got the Amazing Fantasy legs and then the Renew Your Vows arms, and the arms are proportionally too long compared to the legs. And he's got the Amazing Fantasy torso, so he looks all weird and stuff. This was the one that people were going crazy over at the time for whatever reason. It's not like the worst proportions I've ever seen on an action figure, but you do notice that his arms are looking a little ape-like. People were going crazy for this one. He was impossible to get. All these scalpers were buying him all at once, and oh my god. I really wanted to get him at the time, but after, I remember also that by the time he was even available, so much time had passed that there was not really any point to review him, because reviewing action figures, man, there's a certain timetable on it if you want to get any kind of views at all. You could possibly, I'll say this, I have reviewed action figures pretty long after their release, but usually where the views are on making that kind of thing is just putting it out there as a short, as opposed to putting it out there as just a regular old video. I don't make a lot of like review videos because, I mean, everyone gets the action figures early. All these other toy YouTubers get the action figures early. By the time I'm able to even have a chance to get my hands on it, they've already posted all the reviews, or everyone's already gone and watched those. They don't want to watch mine. So, what's the incentive to go ahead and make a toy review video at that point? You know what I mean? Kinda. Sure, you can make okay content with it. I've made okay content with some action figures. I think some of my most fun reviews recently have been my Venom review and my Mandarin review, but they were all, also the Banshee review I thought was pretty good. Those were all just short videos though. They're like 16 seconds long. They're deeply unserious. Yeah, I saw them too, Patty. I almost bought them, and then I, after I rationalized with myself and said, brother, it's been too long. You're not going to get a lot out of it at this point. I said to myself, yes, you're right, Soulkeeper. You're not going to get a lot out of it. It's $30 for what you're going to get out of it. It's just, it's not fine. It doesn't make good financial sense. We'll put it that way. Because, you know, when you do toy stuff, if you want to stay in the green, you gotta do some predicting, you gotta do a little bit of mental gymnastics, you gotta figure, okay, what am I gonna get the most mileage out of, right? Because if you're not gonna get like a few thousand views, then, I mean, then you're gonna be in the red after that review. Anyway. In case anyone ever wonders why Soulkeeper doesn't do that many reviews, that's why. Oh, here's another Spider-Man action figure from Marvel Universe, guys. Patty, you say, I like the shorts. I mean, how deep do some of these have to go? I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like, thanks for those likes, guys. That's kind of how I feel, too. Like, in a lot of instances, we've seen these action figures before, we know them. I might as well just do something silly with them. What can I really do besides, hey, go over the sculpt, hey, go over the paint? I could do a very dry review, but I don't know, I feel like people already do that all the hell and back, so why not just have some laughs with them? maybe that's just what I'll do with my reviews going forward, is just have some laughs with them, since everyone's already doing these dry ass reviews. That is like, for you, it's what what do I want to see on my shelves, or toolbox a year, or more like, I'm not a super huge collector, but I buy what I buy. But the paint details off, I just won't buy it. That's a good policy to have. Yeah. There's a lot of action figures that look cool that I pass up for various reasons. Sometimes it's just, you reached your budget for the month, or sometimes the action figure just isn't up to snuff just based on looking at images, or, sometimes the action figure just isn't hot enough to really justify getting. Oh, by the way, look at this look at this Spider-Man, guys. Look at the detail on that Spider-Man. He's got look at this. This has got that old, this feels like a Toy Biz toy, doesn't it? This has got those Toy Biz vibes on him. Sorry, I was just looking at this Marvel Universe Spider-Man from the Series 1. Because this is one of the earliest Marvel Universe action figures they released. It's got good God, it's got those lovely, like, washes on it. It's got the carved web lines. It's got, like, black detail inside of those web lines. Guys, the more you look at the Marvel Universe stuff, God, the higher quality it really seems to be. I really want this line to come back. I think that if it came back, it'd be an immediate slam dunk. I wish it never went away. I never really sat and looked through, hello there, not Maymayer. Hope you're doing good today. I never really sat down and looked at all the Marvel Universe stuff like this, but God, you go back and look at it, sure, there's like single joints over here, but you can look past that. I think at this size, thank you, not Maymayer, my face feels a lot better. I don't feel as itchy. How you doing today? For me, the only figure you see yourself running out to pre-order or find hardcore would be 70s Avengers. Beats the only line to do the sculpt well was Marvel Universe 3 3/4. I noticed that, God, the more I go deep diving into Marvel Universe, the more I see that they put out so many action figures in a short time frame. It seems a lot like Toy Biz in that regard. I know that sounds silly considering the line was put out by Hasbro, but I think that this line was about as good as what Toy Biz did. Is that a crazy thing to say? I don't know, but it feels like this is Hasbro's own thing as opposed to Marvel Legends, where, they kind of evolved into it and made it their thing, but it feels like it still has to this day, it still feels like it has all the marks of Toy Biz on it, because Toy Biz literally created just about everything about it. Now, that's not to say that Hasbro hasn't put their touch on some things. They did create the ankle swivel, and that ankle swivel is pretty good. And they also finally figured out the best combination for articulation to get the most out of it. Admittedly, they've done pretty good work on that. But Marvel Universe feels all their own. Marvel Universe feels like it's entirely their creation. And when you get that, it feels special. I think that's what makes it special, because it doesn't feel like they're trying too hard to copy or manipulate what Toy Biz is. They're just doing their own thing here, and it's wonderful. This is, look at the Punisher here. Look how cool he looks. This is from 2009. This looks sweet. Comes with a pistol, comes with a machine gun. Come on, man. The Avengers Beast has a different face. Excuse me, face. What face does he have? I guess they could go crazy with design and accessories because of it being smaller. Exactly. I feel like they could do a lot more with this smaller scale than they can with the 6-inch line at this point. It seems like more and more things are just getting so expensive, things are getting so cost prohibitive that maybe we need to go to a smaller scale. And I know 6-inch collectors are probably going to have conniptions over that suggestion, but guys, we see the way prices are going. We see the way things are trending. 6-inch figures are $1,000 and $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 and $8,000 and $9,000 and $10,000 and $11,000 and $12,000 and $13,000 and $14,000 and $15,000 and $16,000 and $17,000 and $18,000 and $19,000 and $20,000 and $21,000 and $22,000 and $23,000 and $24,000 and $25,000 and $26,000 and $27,000 and $28,000 and $29,000 and $30,000 and $31,000 and $32,000 and $33,000 and $34,000 and $35,000 and $36,000 and $37,000 and $38,000 and $39,000 and $40,000 and $41,000 and $42,000 and $43,000 and $44,000 and $45,000 and $46,000 and $47,000 and $48,000 and $49,000 and $50,000 and $51,000 and $52 it feels like it's over. Maybe not completely. But, like, I think that this, bring it back Marvel Universe, I think it could reinvigorate Marvel collectibles. Because then they could start charging like $15 an action figure again, and maybe do a little bit more with each action figure, and maybe the Hulk could actually be a standard action figure again instead of a deluxe release. Like, I think I've said this again and again, how insane it is that Hulk is a deluxe release, a standard hero like Hulk. Alright, what do we got here? Patty says, I like when they had the case files that came with them. Oh yeah, the shield files that came with each action figure in the beginning. Those are pretty cool. Yeah. If they do like that, God, the value on those things was kind of nuts, wasn't it? The value on those initial Marvel Universe figures was great. You know what I wish they would do is, like, just, I wish, they'll probably never do it, but like a little mini comic. That I don't know why I keep going back to mini comics. Do a digital comic or something like that if they want to save money. But anyway, that's just one of my thoughts. So many guns came with him. Nice. Tom says, I would buy 3/4 if they weren't trying to appeal to 80s collectors with 5 points of articulation style. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, there's been a lot of apologetics recently that commenting about how much they like the 5 points of articulation Marvel Legends Retro line. Guys, the Marvel Legends Retro line sucked, and we know it sucked. You know what they did with that line? They literally manipulated the art on the card to look like they're slapdash action figures. People keep citing the card art as to why that line was great. The card art was garbage because they manipulated it to look like the POS action figures. Because they were just taking every shortcut they could to try and do the worst facsimile of a character they possibly could. So many characters got this fly-by-night treatment. Moon Knight, Firestar, who else? Frankly, just name somebody. Phoenix. Name a character, they got a fly-by-night treatment. Every single lady character had heels. Come on. This line sucked. Marvel Legends Retro sucked. Especially when you compare it to what they were doing with Marvel Universe. They were able to release all those Marvel Legends Retro figures at like $10. They could do this for $15 easy. You're like the paint on Punisher with the blue shading. You never see that now with modern Marvel Legends. That's what I'm saying. This is from 2009. This is well after Hasbro got the license, and this is what they were doing. There's really solid sculpting all over this thing. There's nice washes all over him. The detail, it's a good sculpt. It comes with accessories. The only catch is 3 3/4 inch scale. But if it makes it easier to collect, I say I'm fine with that. I would rather have some Marvel action figures than Marvel action figures that are going to cost like $30 a crack. I don't know, guys. How do you feel about the prospect of maybe $30 Marvel Legends? Because I feel like that's where we're going. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, but it feels more and more like that's what we're going to get imminently. The prices have already gone up drastically since 2020, brother. Oh my god. Had more of a square in the Avengers books and for that sculpt, and pointy hair like Wolverine, kind of, Patty says. Oh, okay. I understand what you mean, Patty. The movie line. Oh, yes, I remember the Wolverine Origins line. I was actually perusing some images. I think I even remember seeing some Wolverine Origins stuff in stores a while ago, Patty. The comic action figures they did for... It was kind of crazy the way they did, like, the comic action figures for... in the Marvel Universe style for all the, like, those movies, like Wolverine Origins and also Iron Man 2 and stuff like that. Tom says, I knew the Marvel Universe line was dying when they switched the packaging style to more basic type with no case files. Yeah, that's usually a pretty good indicator that they're really phoning it in at that point. I imagine they were doing that because they were... Why were they doing that anyway, do you think? Was it not selling well? Were they trying to give Marvel Legends a leg up? By nerfing the Marvel Universe line. Landman says that scale has more playability too, which is a big selling point for you. Bring back like Punisher Van. See, that's another thing. It is a lot easier to create playsets. It's a lot easier to create vehicles. It's a lot easier to have deluxe action figures like Galactus when the action figures are only 3 3/4 inch scale. Because we all saw what happened when you made a Galactus to scale with HasLab. Holy hell! The size of that thing. Like, people were marked out about it, but meanwhile I was just thinking, where the hell are we gonna put this thing? Like, just looking at it, like, I was looking at him going, I can't buy this, where am I gonna put him? He's huge! The $400 Galactus from, like, 2021, what was it, 2021? Yeah, I think it was 2021, no, 2022, I can't remember what year it was. I think it was like 2021. But anyway, yeah. That $400 Galactus that was like 32 inches tall or something like that, man. Oh, God. No, I'd rather have the Marvel Universe Galactus that was about maybe 16 inches, which is still pretty huge, but feels a lot more manageable. It's little things like that. 6 inches is nice. You get lots of opportunity for detail. You get lots of opportunity for other things, but they're not really putting in the detail on a lot of Marvel Legends, are they? So, I don't know. No, they're kind of skipping on those details, and a lot of the time with Marvel Legends. Whereas, I don't know, I feel like we got a lot more of that with Marvel Universe, just based on looking at everything that's in the line here. Yeah, you could do it, exactly, you could do a Blackbird. You can't do it, they're never going to do a 6-inch Blackbird. They're never going to do, like, a Fantastic Car. Because, you know, you start doing the vehicles at that scale, they start taking up a whole lot of space. And granted, they're still going to be big at 3 3/4, but hey, we could still, I mean, they could, at least it'd be a lot more manageable. Am I getting the new Marvel Legends Archangel? God, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it because it didn't seem, I don't know, are people actually interested in that one? Guess if people are really, really interested, I might. Tom remembers the Fantastic Car from the 2005 movie. How big was the Fantastic Car from the 2005 movie? Do you remember, like, approximately how big that was? Just so we can get a sense of, like, what we're asking or what we want here. How big this really is. Because I feel like my gut tells me that it's so much more doable at 3 3/4 inch scale than it is at 6 inches. See, the more we talk about this, the better it's sounding. The more we talk about this, the more on board I am with bringing back Marvel Universe to the point where maybe it should be the main Marvel line. Which, I mean, 6-inch collectors are gonna flip their lids over it, but just the sense of playability it has is adding a lot to the value of the line. And I think that I'm mentally in a spot where I'm all about quality and playability over whatever scale I want my line to be. Also, you know, when you review just Marvel stuff in general, you tend to be less picky about scale. Let's see. Tom says they switched around 2016. That's okay. Well, I think I can probably conjecture why they did that around 2016, because technically the line was canceled back in like 2013, 2014, around there. So they weren't putting a lot of energy in the Marvel Universe at that point. They put like 5 years worth of good energy into it, and then they decided, nah, well, Marvel Legends is coming back in a big way, brother. We're just gonna like nerf this line now. That's kind of the vibes they had. Hey, yo, Dick, what's going on? Hope that you're having a good day today, dude. We're talking about bringing back the possibility and the desire for Hasbro to bring back the Marvel Universe line. A line of 3 3/4 inch scale action figures in line with what Kenner did with Star Wars, as well as what Hasbro did with G.I. Joe, a real American hero. And frankly, I know I talked about this in my video, but these action figures are very similar to what we saw with Marvel Legends Showdown. I don't know if you guys remember that Toy Biz line, but it was like a tabletop card game that was combined with action figures, and it was kind of cool, and it had very similar vibes to this. And is it weird that I think that those action figures were like a 1/4 of an inch scale larger than these, but in my head canon, I just kind of have it. The Marvel Universe line, I think of it a little bit as a continuation of Marvel Legends Showdown from Toy Biz. Sort of, but not really, because like Toy Biz didn't really go all in on it, I think, like Hasbro did on Marvel Universe, which is why I tend to think of it more of a Hasbro thing. All right, taking care of babies and a 4-year-old. It's a wild roller coaster ride. Also, the babies are teething. Oh yeah, so you're having a fun day. I am good though, enjoying the day. Well, at least you're still enjoying the day. Hell, even if it does tend to be a bit of a kick in the pants sometimes. Nah, I'm glad you're all right, dude. How am I today? I'm all right. Saw that my new video has well over, God, my new video has like almost getting close to 2,000 views. People really want to see Marvel Universe come back, I think. Makes me miss Imaginext you shared with your kids. Ah, that's nice. See, I have a few Imaginext pieces, Flan. They were pretty, I remember it being pretty okay. I don't remember like loving it, but I don't remember hating it either. I have one toy that I reviewed a while back that was like a Joker steamroller. I thought it was pretty cool. Oh god, look at that. Sorry, I'm just like scrolling through some of these Marvel Universe figures. Here's X-Force Wolverine. Here's the Human Torch. They just keep getting cooler and cooler the more I scroll through these guys. Anyway, yeah, my new video has got like, God, probably close to 2,000 views now, something like that. I think people really want to see Marvel Universe return, by and large. You got the Two-Face car and repainted it to a Mad Max V8. Oh, that's really cool. See, I think that some of the Imaginext stuff is really good. I think that people are sleeping on some of what's happening with those Imaginext toys. I did do a review of the Joker Steamroller a little while ago, and like someone was laughing at me saying, "Ha, this isn't an adult collectible." And I said, "Yeah, it's a DC toy, hence the name, Soulkeeper Marvel and DC Collectibles." Granted, I haven't changed it back to Soulkeeper Marvel and DC Collectibles here on YouTube yet, but the way things are going with views and everything, I imagine I probably will. But still, it was a DC toy, and it was a very fun one too, and it felt very Joker-esque. I love that little vehicle. I still have it. It's one of those things, guys. Like, there's a certain fun factor that goes along with toys that sometimes I feel like is missing from the 6-inch line, because, I don't know, it's certain playability like that. Having vehicles and crazy action features, I miss action features, I miss vehicles, I miss the playability of toys. You can still have a certain amount of playability that goes along with 6 inches, but, I don't know. For some reason, it feels dry. It feels a little stale. Guys, am I going crazy? Or maybe, or am I just like bored with the 6-inch scale? I think maybe I'm just seeing the possibilities of. I'm looking back at this old line of action figures. Guys, look at that Daredevil. Look at that Daredevil. That's like one of the best Daredevils I've ever seen. Guys, come on. Look at all this. This is way better than the last Daredevil that Hasbro did. Look at it. Come on, this slaps. This is a 3 3/4 inch scale action figure, and this is way better than anything Hasbro's done with Daredevil in years. I want a 6-inch Daredevil that looks like this. Please and thank you. Blind Man says, as I'm getting older, my tastes are getting simpler. I'm enjoying TMNT remakes of old figures in 8 to 16-bit games. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of, like, old games that maybe you never got an opportunity to beat, and sometimes I like going back and playing old games, right? Because there's a certain amount of fun that you're able to appreciate, I think, when you're a little bit older as opposed to where you're like a really young kid and you try playing those games. I think part of it is just that, like, you don't have the same dexterity you do that you did when you were a kid. Like, I find that a lot of games I had a hard time with when I was a kid, I have an easier time with as an adult. Does anyone else find that? Like, I remember having the hardest time playing so many games, and then I go back and play them as an adult, and suddenly, hey, I can figure out how to play this. Like Driver. It's okay, oh Dick, I know what you mean. But there's also a certain amount of truth to that. Like, there's so many people that could never figure out that game because of the tutorial. But, you know, I figured it out in, like, maybe 40 minutes or so. Because I'm an adult with adult reasoning and adult dexterity. So, it wasn't that much of a challenge for me. Not Maymayer has been wanting a good, accurate Daredevil with a good sculpt and articulation that won't cost an arm and a leg. I'm right there with you. I just want a Daredevil that's got effort into it. And this looks like just what the doctor ordered. That looks like the Daredevil that I want. Oh, buddy. PS1 games for the win for sure. Very affordable to collect. Yeah, fortunately PS1 is still very affordable. PS2 can be pretty hit and miss in that regard. But PS1 generally is okay to collect for. As long as it doesn't have disc rot. That's one of the downsides. I personally, guys, I bring this up a lot. Mahoy Manoy, how you doing today, by the way? Hope that you're doing good. Yeah, I know, Dick. Most people didn't make it out of the garage in Driver, and it's like, that's what I'm talking about. When you're an adult, sometimes you're able to appreciate some of these things a little bit more because you can actually play them now. But this, I also like to think of, I like to keep balance in mind because, like, I like old games, but I also like to keep an open mind, and I like playing new games. I've been playing a lot of Black Myth Wukong recently. That game was fantastic. And if you like any of the Soulsborne genre at all, it's definitely one to check out. There's also a lot of retro-style games that are brand spanking new that are coming out again and again. There's some really fantastic titles that are making the rounds on the indie scene, guys. Great games are coming out on the indie scene all the time. Doing well, thanks for asking. Going home from work and you're off tomorrow. Oh, congratulations, Mahoy Manoy. Hope you're able to relax a little bit. I'm alright, Mahoy. Yeah, I'm pretty decent. I was just doing like a stream. I wanted to do like an action figure stream today because I didn't really get to do all that much last week, and also I wanted to talk about Marvel Universe with everyone. I figured that since my video's doing so well, it'd be a good time to come on and chat about Marvel Universe with people. You don't know what that is? It's a line back from the what am I saying? It's a line back from 2009. Great, had been some great boomer shooters. Medieval Rocks, it's a throwback to Heretic. Oh, that sounds badass, actually. I love a good boomer shooter. Boomer shooters are so much fun. Because they don't try too hard like some of these modern shooters, man. They try to be more like Doom and Duke Nukem, and it rules. I love that. I love the fast, frantic gameplay and just the more simplistic style of a boomer shooter. It's evolved into its own genre, and it's been one of my favorites to come out in recent years. You've been going back and buying games from your childhood. PS1 and PS2 is it for me. You love how these lives are quick and fun. Yeah, it's a YouTube algorithm thing, not Mayor. Like, how do I put this? Streaming on YouTube is not like streaming on other services like streaming on Twitch or even TikTok. Because at the end of the day, like, you have to also keep in mind not just the live itself or the stream itself, but also the VOD after the fact. And a VOD that's around maybe about an hour long is probably going to get a little bit more play than something that's, I don't know, 5 hours. But also at some point, maybe we will run out of things to talk about for the day, so we just come back. We come back next time when we have more to talk about. Blind Man says, gotta check out a medieval, sir. The missile launcher is a staff. Oh my god. The missile launcher is a staff that shoots planets as missiles that have been miniaturized. That sounds absolutely insane and fun. Alright, there's another Daredevil. That's a Daredevil variant, I guess. That still looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a 2009 action figure, so proportions are maybe not like absolutely perfect, but still really good looking back in 2009. Comes with nunchucks. Nunchucks. Aw, dude, Bullseye though. Oh man. God, I love this line, guys. I spend a lot of time collecting adventure games. Like, a lot of people collect console stuff from whatever year. I mostly collect a lot of adventure games. Every time I see them on sale on GOG or even sometimes Steam, I go ahead and buy adventure games. It's a genre that I've always loved, but it's one of these genres that not a lot of people really know about, I don't think. I just love the point and click adventure and text parser adventure genres. Full motion video, text parsing, graphic adventures. I love all that stuff. Like Myst and Monkey Island and King's Quest and Space Quest, yada yada yada. Just love it. I love all the new ones too. Try to keep abreast of what's going on out there. There's been a few new things that have come out that I'm really, really interested in. But yeah, those are the kinds of games I kind of go out of my way to try and collect. Not console games, adventure games. Patty's Project says that TMNT brought back the retro-style turtles. They should do the same here. It would be gold. They ever do a Kingpin? I'm pretty sure they did a Kingpin. Honestly, I would be shocked if they never did a Kingpin in this line, Patty, because it seems like they did everything else. There is a lot of product in a short amount of time. Let's check it out. Marvel Universe Hasbro. Kingpin, Marvel Universe Hasbro. Did they make one? Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure that they did, because it's not scaring up anything on my image search. Huh. Maybe they didn't do a Kingpin. Well, how do you like that? Nope, not scaring up anything. Well, that's... God, that's unfortunate. Chris says, not that I can remember. Yeah, I'm looking at my image search and nothing's coming up, so it doesn't look like they ever did a Kingpin. Dude, they did Bullseye, but they never did a Kingpin? That's crazy. I can't believe that. You know what? Alright. See, there's still characters they can do. Yeah. If they want to bring it back and just do like a regular comic line of action figures, see, if they did like a reboot of Marvel Universe, I think that they should just re-release all the characters from Series 1 that they did for the most part. Maybe do some slight changes here and there, maybe update things a little bit, something like that. Wonder why they stopped pushing on them. See, it's a good question. My thought is that they wanted to push Marvel Legends harder. I think that's what they wanted to do, because as I recall, at the time that these came out, there was a big lull in Marvel Legends. Because Marvel Legends from like up until about 2012 or so, I'm not sure Marvel Legends was doing so well. But Marvel Universe, its boom period was 2009 to about 2013 or so. So, about a year after Marvel Legends made its big comeback, that's about when Marvel Universe started petering out over at Hasbro. Seems like they just wanted to divert all their resources over to Marvel Legends instead. Well, I mean, you look at these action figures from Marvel Universe, you can maybe see why they wanted to divert those resources, because some of these action figures, I mean, they look a little off maybe in 2025, but you know, yeah, they look a little bit, you know, weird in 2025, but there's some definite good stuff here. These aren't bad action figures by any stretch of the imagination. These are still pretty good. A lot of these sculpts still hold up really well. Johnny Storm over there looked a little weird, but Cap doesn't look too bad. Hulk looked really cool. There's the Marvel Universe Hulk, guys. Come on. Now that's a Hulk, and it was a standard release too. It wasn't being released as a crazy deluxe action figure for like price and a half. It was just part of the line. This line at the beginning was so awesome. Wonder why it's not pushing. Look at Cyclops from this line. It got you back into collecting. I think they released a bunch of different Cyclops. Death's Head was awesome. The Marvel Legends one, or did they release a Marvel Universe one? Oh, they definitely released a Marvel Universe one. Oh god, yeah. Check this out, guys. Actually, both Marvel Legends and Marvel Universe were really good. The Death's Head here, this is a Marvel Universe one, but this is really good, guys. Yeah. Blind Man's right. This action figure slaps, and the Marvel Legends one was really good too. That was not a bad action figure. I don't know what's gotten in the water with Death's Head, but this is just both one of the best Marvel Universes and one of the best Marvel Legends. Cheers to Death's Head, guys. You know, I was thinking about making a couple of different videos recently. I was thinking about making a best Marvel Legends of all time video. But I'm thinking about doing a best Marvel Universe action figures of all time video. Maybe I'll do that too. The response to my latest video has been extremely unexpected. I wasn't sure if anyone would give a damn, to be honest. You know, every time you make a video, you're not sure if people are really going to give a crap. That's like those are the facts right there. Like, I made my Secret Wars video. I thought my Secret Wars video was pretty good, but I mean, it didn't get as much action as I thought it would. It might just be a slow burn. That happens sometimes. I thought that video turned out pretty good. There's been a number of videos I've made recently that I thought turned out pretty good. And I'm hoping that they're going to be like slow burn types. God, though. You guys are right. That's pretty sweet. Alright, you want me to look at Cyclops? Alright, I'll look at Cyclops. Wonder how many Cyclops they made. Oh, they actually made like several different Cyclops. They made like 3 versions of Cyclops at least. They made a classic Cyclops. They made a Jim Lee Cyclops. Yeah, check it out. This is the Jim Lee one right there. There's the Jim Lee Cyclops. The 90s one, so good. All right. Yeah, that's a pretty slick looking action figure though. I like that. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. How do you not love this stuff? I love it. Little card back. Good looking action figure. Hell, it even comes with a figure. It even came with a figure stand. God. It came with a figure stand. It came with a figure stand. Good mix of art. It's exactly it. This is like the perfect storm of articulation, sculpt, and paint at a price point that is not too unreasonable. We asked this earlier in this stream, guys, but if Marvel Universe came out, what price point do you think it should be? what price point would you start buying these at? I said around $15 would be a good starting point, or would be a good point to like just put them at, because I don't know, I'm at the point where I would really like to see $15 action figures make a comeback. The 90s Toy Biz training playsets would be great with these. Yeah, why not? Guys, I miss those playsets like that. Those playsets slapped. They had these little Danger Room playsets that were available for the first X-Men line, right? Well, they didn't just have them for... Well, they had them for the initial X-Men line. They had this Danger Room stuff. Here's one that they had for, like, Cyclops, guys. Check this one out right here. Actually, I think this might be a Wolverine one, now that I think about it. Yeah. What you did was you attach Wolverine to the base there, and then you would twist the little knob that's on the handle there, and you'd have him, like, hit Magneto, and you have him fight this little ball over there and stuff. And then, Cyclops had one too. Cyclops had one where he would burst through a wall and all that. Let me see if I can find the Cyclops one. The Cyclops one was pretty cool. Okay, I found it. Here's the Cyclops one, guys, and Magneto is attached to this one too. What you did is you build up this brick wall and stuff, and then you would put Cyclops on this base. He attached just like Wolverine did, and there's this little tab right here that you would press, and it would press the tab on Cyclops's back, and then when you press that tab, it would activate the base, and then you would break down the wall and make Magneto pop out and stuff. It's fun. Fun and silly. I love that kind of stuff. There were a lot of other, like, miscellaneous bits and bobs that came out for the X-Men line once it evolved, but those were some of the initial playsets they came out with. God, I just love crazy stuff like that, guys. Hello, Sonic Transformer fan number 1. Hope you're doing good today. Oh, and there's Grey Hulk, soulmates. Grey Hulk. Hold on. I think, oh, I don't have a Green Goblin image pulled up. Because I swear to God, the Green Goblin they made is like the best Green Goblin they've ever made over at Hasbro. I think the Marvel Universe Green Goblin is the only one that really competes with the Toy Biz Green Goblin. That was 6 inches. Ugh. I wish they would too, not Mayor. But I don't know if they ever will. They don't seem too big on, like... They don't seem too big on making that kind of stuff for Marvel Legends. They don't seem big on making vehicles and playsets and stuff, and it's kind of unfortunate. And we've been talking about this, but it's just a lot easier when you have a smaller scale. When you have as large of a scale as 6 inches, then the playsets, the vehicles, they get prohibitively huge to the point where you have to start thinking about scaling them down a bit just so that people can fit them in their homes. Something that comes to mind right now is the USS Flag from G.I. Joe. Really cool playset, but oh my god, it's enormous. One of the biggest playsets ever made, and it's for a 3 3/4 inch line. How could you ever do that for a 6 inch line? Imagine the size of it if you made it to scale with 6 inches. No one would be able to fit it in their home. Yeah, it takes more of your space on the shelf. That's just it. I like 6 inches. But there's just so much more we can do with this line. There's so much more that we could create. There's so much more that we could play with. I'm thinking... I want Marvel Universe back, guys. Kids. Look up Marvel Legends Showdown. Alright, you want to look up Marvel Legends Showdown? We were talking about that a little bit. So, how many of you guys remember Marvel Legends Showdown? I don't know if any of you guys remember that line at all, but it was a Toy Biz line that came out a little while ago, and, well, It came out back in 2005, guys. Kind of hard to find images that are like really good resolution of this because, you know, the line's been defunct for just so long. But anyway, I think I've got an okay image here that we could look at. So, here is just a small sample of the Marvel Legends Showdown line, guys. This is pretty much what it was. And what it was this card game that was... It was a joint effort between Toy Biz and this company, Upper Deck Entertainment, to make a tabletop card game that was combined with action figures. But these action figures were very similar to what Hasbro did with the Marvel Universe line. As you can see, they did make an awful lot of characters in the short amount of time that they had. Like, what, maybe 2 years with this? Maybe. And these were about 4 inches high, I think. They're about 4-inch scale, so they're not too far off from what Hasbro was doing with Marvel Universe. And, you know, they made a really good Venom for one. That was really nice. Good, you know, funny enough, I feel like good Venom action figures are hard to come by. They also made a Mole Man. Toy Biz made a Mole Man. Man. Not bad. This isn't every action figure they had in Marvel Legends Showdown, but they did have an awful lot. Ironically, I think their Ghost Rider for this line was way better than the regular Ghost Rider they released in the Series 3 wave of Marvel Legends. The Ghost Rider that Toy Biz made for Series 3 of Marvel Legends was not the best, unfortunately. Mostly because he was kind of brittle for one. 2, yeah, he didn't ride his motorcycle so good, and also his legs were all screwy. It was really unfortunate. But anyway, guys, very cool line of action figures, even if it was tied to a tabletop card game. But I think that this might have been something of a blueprint for Hasbro's line of Marvel Universe. Marvel Universe went a lot further, I think, and also they were more focused. They were much more focused on the action figure aspect as opposed to trying to combine it with a tabletop card game. As I say, a lot of cool stuff going on, but not enough emphasis on the action figure aspect, I don't think. You need more X-Men 97 3 3/4 inch figs. I would not be mad about it, DJB. No one wants to touch Ghost Rider, huh? Not my mayor? Well, to be fair, Ghost Rider seems like a really hard action figure to do well. I wonder why they don't touch Ghost Rider. Yeah, the Danny Ketch stuff that they did was really good. Alright. Let's ask you guys a question right now. If you could have an opening line of Marvel Universe action figures, who do you want to see in the opening wave? Maximum Spidey? Hate it. Think it's a ripoff. $50? Nah. $50 is a total ripoff for a standard size Marvel Legend. Like, it's not bad. Total ripoff, though. Alright, let's hear it, guys. Who do you want to see in an opening wave of Marvel Universe? DJB says Nightcrawler or Iceman. Very good choices. I wouldn't mind seeing either of those. Because I love Nightcrawler, and I kind of love Iceman, too. They've always been like two of my favorites. Yeah, I've made several videos about Maximum Series Spider-Man. I had some words to say about it. I was not a fan. I liked the action figure itself, but I hated the price tag. I thought it was kind of dirty of Hasbro to try and do that. Like I said, if this is so good, why isn't this the standard? You know what I mean? If this is supposed to be the best of the best, then why isn't this just like the standard for Marvel Legends? Why is it 50 smackaroos? What about Moon Knight from Strange Tales? See, I'd go with Moon Knight. Moon Knight. I like that. Moon Knight, Nightcrawler, Iceman, Wildcats team, says Flam Man. Yeah, go ahead. Let's bring on some Moon Knight. Yeah, I don't know why they were keeping the price such a secret, Chris. Like, they just kept twiddling their thumbs. They didn't want to come out and say it. And it's one of those things where, why is it a big deal? Just tell people what it costs. Well, they knew that we were going to be mad, and rightfully so. They knew that what they were doing. That's why they didn't want to tell us. Alright, so I guess if they bring back Marvel Universe, if they ever thought about doing it, I would want to see them make a Daredevils again. I'm never going to say no to Daredevil. And I also want to see them have another crack at Hulk. Because the Hulk that they did was pretty good. I want to see what they do with it in 2025. 3 3/4 inch Daredevil, 3 1/4 inch Hulk. They know the hype would die. They did the same for the Hulkbuster. Yeah, well, Hasbro does a fine job of killing their own hype. X-Men 2099 needs to be Marvel Legends. Sure, why not? Yeah, Hulk 2099? Why not? Hasbro wants to do it. Yeah, let's just let them know that maybe they should do it. They probably made public opinion into the real price. What, they were just like dipping their toe in the water, seeing what people said, and then went with the answer that people thought it should be? God. Man, what if you're right? That's exhausting. Jesus Christ. Public opinion really settled on $50? My God, man, are we so cucked that we cucked ourselves into a $50 price tag? Oh no. Alright. Well, to all you soulmates out there who are watching after the fact, let us know what Marvel Universe action figures you would like to see if this line ever saw the light of day again. Because I'd love to hear from you guys. I think we're going to put a pin in things for right now, guys. I'll be back here again soon. Guys, thank you guys for hanging out with me. You wish you got Marvel vs. Capcom line? I wish so too, but doesn't seem like it's going to happen with Jada on the job. Never say never know. Weirder things have happened, right? But Jada Toys is doing great work. I want to see them do some Resident Evil stuff. Fingers crossed that they do it, guys. That would be crazy, Flan, man. If they did that, I would mark out a little bit. I have a Hulk 2099 from a while back that has rooted hair from Toy Biz, but I don't know. Hard to see Hasbro going the extra mile like that. Never say never. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, soulmates. I'll see everyone again soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. And I'll be back with you again next time. Later, everyone. Take care.